2. I'll see you after your timer.
I'd like to call the City Caucus meeting to order for Monday, November 10th, 2025. We have 9 items for original consideration. The clerk will please read item number 1.
Item number 1 for final consideration, an ordinance to amend Chapter 183, Article 2, Section 183-6 of the Code of Ordinances to clarify requested information and to delete certain background reports.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 2.
Item number 2 for final consideration, an ordinance to amend Chapter 183, Article 2, Section 183-4 of the Code of Ordinances to add massage parlors to the list of businesses requiring a certificate of use and to add massage parlors to the list of definitions in the Schenectady City Zoning Code, Section 264-2.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 3.
Item number 3 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of a vacant lot at 605 Craig Street for $3,500.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 4.
Item number 4 for original consideration, a resolution rescinding Resolution 2025-163, 2025-164, and 2025-181.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 5.
Item number 5 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 22 James Street.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 6.
Item number 6 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 269 Altamont Avenue.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 7.
Item number 7 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the settlement of a claim by Denise Harris.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 8.
Item number 8 for original consideration, a resolution honoring Jai Golden Child Brown for his outstanding athletic achievement and contributions to the Schenectady community.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 9.
Item number 9 under reconsideration, an ordinance pursuant to Section 36 of the Second Class Cities Law and Article 6 of the Charter of the City of Schenectady approving and adopting the proposed operating budget for 2026 and authorizing the appropriations therein enumerated, vetoed by the mayor on November 6, 2025.
Item number 9 will be removed from the agenda due to an insufficient number of council members present to vote on the reconsideration of the operating budget. The Assistant Corporation Counsel gave us this information as discussed per the Charter Section 13-3. The vetoed ordinance must be reconsidered at the council's next regular meeting, which is tonight. There are only 4 members available for tonight's meeting. However, per the charter, upon the council's reconsideration of the vetoed ordinance, 1 more council vote beyond that normally required, 4, is to approve an ordinance shall vote in favor of such ordinance. The same shall become a force. This means the council needs 5 votes to override the veto. Since that number will not be present tonight, Mr. O'Brien recommends that the council hold off the veto override vote and recess the meeting to a date and time when at least 5 members are present in order to properly consider the veto override. At the end of tonight's meeting, we will make a motion to recess the meeting to reconsider the override of the mayor's veto. The date and time set for this will be Monday, November 17th at 5:15 p.m. in room 110. If there's nothing more to come before the City Council caucus, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. I'd like to call the City Council meeting to order for Monday, November 10th, 2025. We do not have anyone present here tonight to do the prayer invocation, so I just ask everyone please rise and observe a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd like to call on Councilman Williams to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
this time, I ask for approval of the minutes of October 27th. Moved by Mr. Farley, second by Mr. Mutavarian. All in favor? Aye. If the clerk could please read any communications and petitions.
Communications presented to the City Council for Monday, November 10th, 2025. Under official, there were none. Under general, from Mary Colleen McCulley, an email thanking the council for addressing the longstanding concerns regarding traffic calming and pedestrian safety. They proposed option 4, which would make East Front Street one-way eastbound from John Street to Mohawk Avenue and Front Street one-way westbound from John Street into the stockade. The goal is to reduce cut-through traffic and improve safety. They also encourage continued implementation of the stockade streetscape plan near Front College and Ingersoll Streets. Under petitions, there were none.
Thank you. As I call on council members for any committee reports. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call, please. Ms. Patrick. Excuse me, Ms. Michael.
Ms. Sotero is absent. Mr. Farley?
Here.
Mr. Mutavarian?
Present.
Ms. Patrick is absent. Mr. Williams?
Present.
Ms. Porterfield?
Here. This time, I'll ask any council members to provide committee reports. Okay, thank you. This time, we'll have privilege of the floor related to the legislative agenda. I have no one signed up to speak, so I declare the public comment on the legislative agenda closed. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the legislative consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Mudavarian, second by Mr. Williams. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. We'll now entertain we'll have privilege of the floor regarding general city business. And I have 4 people who are signed up to speak. The first person is Anthony Carrata.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Madam President. Before I get to speak on what I'm going to speak on tonight, I just want to say every November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and this council should recognize people like myself who constantly struggle with living with type 2 diabetes and people that live with type 1 diabetes. We should recognize the effort of that and recognize that November is Diabetes Awareness Month. Now, what I want to talk about tonight is this. The so-called government shutdown, which is finally over, thank the good Lord. Your colleagues there in Washington, D.C., Senator Chuck Schumer, and others are afraid to stand up to the radical arm that's right now involved in the Democratic Party there on the federal level. Those individuals in the Democratic Party there and in the far left arm of the Democratic Party are Senator Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Madami, the guy that just got elected to mayor of New York City. They have embraced a communist socialist agenda, what they think is appropriate for this nation. It's not. And also, it does not comply with the law that's already in the land of the nation, the U.S. Constitution. Now, with this so-called government shutdown, which is finally over, I can understand the aspect of health care, the Affordable Care Act. I can understand that. People need health care. That's all understandable. But there has been repercussions and consequences, okay, which are still being felt because this shutdown has not reached record-breaking things in the record book. It's now, 40-something days? The consequences are the following. Right now, when you got the most busy time of travel for air travel, you've got air traffic controllers literally working without sleeping in the cars. You got TSA agents working out paycheck and sleep. You got border control people working without paychecks and sleep. Then, since tomorrow is Veterans Day, our brave men and women in our military who are even working to defend this nation in wartime, peacetime, defend the very freedoms that we should be cherishing, which are slowly being eroded away, working without paychecks. Even our veterans, the same situation. Now, here's the most dangerous consequence. Because we the people are fed up and enough is enough for this political game your colleagues on the Democratic level there in Washington are playing. It's this. I would like the 42 million Americans depend on food stamps, and definitely me. Because people like me in situations dealing with type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease stage level 3B, which is a matter of life or death, depend on food stamps to get the food which we need. Not only me, but you have the elderly, young families that depend on that. Thank God here in New York State today, people like me finally get our food stamps. Thank the leadership finally coming to the senses with that.
Your time has expired, sir.
But the thing is that,
Your time has expired, sir.
let me finish here to wrap up. Okay,
You have 1 second. Your
okay.
time is, I've given you extra time.
Yeah. What I'm saying basically here is next time when there's this so-called shutdown, I urge this body, which is a Democratic body, to get on the phone and call your colleagues there in Washington and say, enough is enough, stop playing these political games with people's lives.
Thank you. Crystal Doyne.
Good evening, everybody. For people who don't know me, I just want to formally reintroduce myself. Crystal L. Doyne of Schenectady, New York. I am here today. I came to this council this evening seeking a resolution for protection. Currently in New York State, in a matter of seconds, anyone illegitimately or legitimately can have access to your address upon looking at your voter's registration online. It requires very little information, some of which you can seek online or maybe someone already knows, such as your name and your date of birth. It's enough to pose a very serious security risk of many different factors. Most people want their address to be private, as it should be. Why is it in New York State a citizen doing a civil act of simply voting is putting their lives at risk? While you lean on the contingencies of being the lowest part of the government, I implore you to see it from a different perspective. See it from the perspective we are the front line of our community. We have a voice. We have the ability to create changes. We have constitutional rights that allow this sort of democracy. Stop pointing fingers in every direction. Work within the sector of the government you've been elected. And finally, put forth the effort of making a real change to benefit the community. We have an obligation to protect one another. Can you imagine a new young voter being doxxed and exploited? Or maybe the vulnerable elderly community having their identity stolen due to a simple website. Voting is a vital component to our democracy. We should protect it. I also fully support the fact that we should have to have an ID to vote. If we have to go to a pharmacy to just get simply cough medicine, why are we not putting forth the effort to ask for ID when we're voting? And I just want to show for reference here, this is how quick, I'm going to go to Google, okay, Google, and we're going to type in New York State voter registration. It's going to be the first website right here, and online voter registration portal. So in a matter of seconds, anybody, just with your information, you type in your name, your date of birth, and it will show your full, complete address. I don't agree with it, and I think as the council members should look at this, bring it up to the highest level of the government, having conversations with Governor Kathy Hochul and so forth. I don't know about other states. I can only speak for the state that I reside in, but I just think that that's a huge security problem for many different factors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Dean Mirabito.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the council, mayor. Before I get started, I just want to say I think that your microphone is feeding back, Madam President. There's this high-pitched ring going on back here. Anyway, I want to say thank you to Damani Farley and Marion Porterfield for all the effort you put forth in the struggle for the rights of all the citizens of Schenectady. You will be missed in 2026, but all the people that support you will continue to speak out against injustice in this city and work toward a Schenectady that is inclusive, diverse, equitable for all, not just a select few. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Kennedy.
Mr. Mayor, Council President, and 3 board members. I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming filling of the vacancy on the council. We have an uphill battle with our budget ahead of us. We now have a process that, as far as I know, there's no rules to, but nonetheless, we have participated in it. We have 3 Republicans that have put in, and I hope they get their due consideration. But we also understand politics, and there's another 14 Democrats that are on the list, and some of them have already been warming up their seat in those chairs. So, I have to say, I think it's indicative of what's went on here in the last few years. But to think that people that are going to be on this board who were just voted out in office are going to be replacing people for the next year instead of allowing the next city council to pick the vacancy, I think speaks volumes of the people that weren't successful in office. As far as the budget goes, I didn't make any secret of the fact that I thought that the revenues were, and let me say one thing, I watched pretty much every minute of those hours of budgets, so I saw how it was constructed. But as far as the budget goes, I saw revenues increased, expenditures decreased without justification. And in doing so, it was to package up a budget before the election. That's my take on it, and a lot of others. So while we have, I guess now the 17th is going to be the next time that we're going to deal with this budget, I would remind this council that the city taxpayers' tax bills, are all going to be dependent upon whether or not we get a budget in time. And that creates chaos out there if bills aren't done on time. And while we hope that there is a reasonable budget passed, and we'll be commenting on it as it progresses further, but the council has a responsibility to timely. And I will say that another thing that we don't appreciate is the fact that board members are taking vacations in November. Now, they can take vacations whenever they want, but if you know that we have a contentious budget coming up, I just think last year we had the same problem, or in 2024. So, but going back to it, I hope you guys realize your responsibilities and pass a budget as soon as possible that is going to push our city forward financially. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no one else signed up to speak, so I declare the public comment of city business closed. At this time, any miscellaneous business of the council? Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Again, want to thank you for your campaign and service, and Mr. Farley also acknowledge Mr. Mudaviran's win, and have 2 members of the council-elect that are in the chamber tonight, Ms. Wiggins and Mr. Engert. campaigns are always interesting, and I've once know the feelings on both sides. And there's a little- The weather's turning a little bit cold now. We're getting a few flurries tonight, and again, don't think this snow's going to stick or be much of an issue, but encourage people to prepare for the winter, the holiday season, and enjoy all the good things that are happening in the city. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome, Mr. Mayor. I don't think that you were really serious about Mr. Farley and I, but I'm not going to talk about elections because that's not what we're here for. We're here to do the city's business. And I do want to comment on the remarks that were made about the council vacancy. When we asked for resumes, we did not ask anybody what their party affiliation was. So anybody could have put their resume in. And I didn't know the number of Republicans versus Democrats, but apparently some people knew that information. So we asked for that. And additionally, there was we were trying to do it prior to moving forward with the budget, but we had so many budget meetings. That was our first priority. So we stuck with that. And in terms of the budget, it was due on November 1st, before the election. So it was our duty and responsibility to pass it, and we did before the election. So it's not a date that we came up with. It's a date that's in the charter. And as you know, 2 years ago, there was an issue because we did not pass it by that date. So there was no concerted effort to make sure that it was before the election. It was due before the election, just to clear up those points. So if there's no other business to come before this council tonight, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Mudavaren, second by Mr. Farley. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Have a good evening.